So Jennifer, I said, can we sing? And Brandon says, you can, and then he leaves.
I know. You
I
scared
think we're
him.
live.
All right, so we've got some folks jumping on. Let me see if I can. I'm not quite sure how to change the backdrop to the fancy, but I like the purple. It's good. You all right with purple there, Teddy?
I'm good with it. I'm good with
All
it.
right. Okay, well, we've got some folks coming on now, and just excited to hear you talking about networking on LinkedIn.
With purpose.
With purpose.
Yeah. Are we recording now too?
We are recording, yes.
So that means I better behave?
Yes, you have to behave now. You have to be nice.
Yeah. I got Jan Goldman on here as well. I've already figured out who she is. I think she works for a community college. I think it's in South Carolina.
Okay.
I can't remember. I can't go look now because I'm supposed to be focused on what I'm doing here. So.
Right. Well, I say jump in. We've got 15 folks, and we'll just have them, hop in and say, "Hey, here I am," and so you'll know where people are from. And take it away, Teddy. I'm gonna hop off the screen.
Cool, and I will be done by 2:20.
Okay.
Cool. Hey, everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me to L&D Cares. The conversation I want to have with you today is high level, but some really good points I want to share with you about networking. As an L&D professional, as an ID professional, as a trainer, for me, I say networking is all about networking, and it really doesn't matter what your role or your purpose is. Networking is important. So let's see if I can control this thing. I think I can, yes. Hey, let me first define networking. Define networking. Networking is finding, developing, and nurturing relationships that mutually move people forward through life. Listen to that definition. There is nothing in there about selling your widget. There is nothing in there about asking for a job. There's nothing in there about asking for, trying to find a partner or a business. It's all about people connecting and finding each other, developing and nurturing their relationships to figure out how they can help each other move forward. This is really important philosophy. When you understand that, you'll get far more value out of your networking. Two people should connect on LinkedIn. Here are the two. You ready? Am I still there? I lost my screen, just changed. I think I'm still good. Two people you should connect with on LinkedIn. Number one, people you can help in their businesses or their careers. That's number one. People you can help, not people who can help you. Now, you're not looking for these people, but you're open to connecting with them. Number two, the second person you should connect with. People who can help you in your business or career. This is really rich. This is really important. You got to think about this in a very deliberate way. It's two people connecting. One of us can help the other, and the other one might need our help. And what's really cool about that is sometimes you don't see it coming, but one becomes the other. You think you're there to help that person, and it turns out that they're there to help you. You never see it until it happens. Help your LinkedIn network with no expectations. You want to give with no expectations. Dale Carnegie taught me that. When you give with no expectations, it pays you huge dividends. So think about that when you're networking on LinkedIn. I'm purposely looking for people who can help me in my business, my career. For me, it might be my target audience for my business. For you, it might be a hiring manager or department head who has a need for what you bring to the table. But along the way, I am absolutely open to connecting with people who are relevant to me in some way or another. Listen to those words, relevant in some way or another, and looking for ways where I can help them. Look, I got Baton Rouge on here, Tampa Bay area, got Atlanta, Chicago, San Francisco, and Justin from Boston. Good golly. Kansas City, Stephen, good to see you on here. Here's some best practices of connecting on LinkedIn. By the way, use the chat or use the Q&A and ask me any question. I'm absolutely happy to answer any question along the way. Best practices of connecting on LinkedIn. Don't send invites to people who don't know you. We had this conversation earlier. I was talking to a gentleman named Andrew, and we said, don't send an invite to someone who doesn't know you any better than what's called Adam's house cat. Don't send invites to people who don't know you. Instead, look for ways to get introduced to them by people that you share mutual connections with, which LinkedIn helps you discover that. Or bump into them, bump into their content. It's a great way to connect on LinkedIn when you get a warm introduction, or you engage in their content first. You don't need to accept every invite you get. You don't need to accept every invite you get from every Tom, Dick, Harry, Susan, and Billy Bob Boy on LinkedIn. Ask them why they want to connect first. This is rich. Ask them why they want to connect. I don't know who's giving me the smiley faces, but I love it. I can see emoticons coming up. I need more emoticons. Emoticons fuel me up. Thumbs up, hearts. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Now get your forehead off the keyboard. Ask them why they want to connect before you accept their invite. And there's a way to do that, and it's on the My Network page on the right, see all, and you go to that box and you have the ability to send a message to everybody. So thank you for that engagement. Engage immediately when you connect. I see this all the time. Let me get my prop. Here's my prop right here. People do this all day long. They collect business cards. They collect LinkedIn connections, and then they do nothing with it. You can't fail that way. Every time you connect with someone who's relevant to you in some way or another, find a way to engage with them. Say hello to them. Ask them a question about them. This is rich. Don't be like everybody else and just collect LinkedIn connections. That's pathetic. Your engagement with them does not have to be through LinkedIn. Now that's a little bit, astounding. Dorothy says, I reach out to all my LinkedIn connections to learn and grow. Absolutely, Dorothy. But it doesn't all have to happen through LinkedIn. You can call them on the telephone. Remember that thing? Remember this thing, the telephone? You know, you could FaceTime them on a telephone. You can invite them to a Zoom call, send them an email, send them a text message, Skype them, WhatsApp them, whatever you want to do. Send them a business email. If you have to, do a LinkedIn message. If you want to be a little different, a little better, make your LinkedIn message a mobile video or a mobile audio. Kimberly's old school and talk on the phone. But look for ways to engage with your network. That's how you're going to grow the best. And connect with someone new every single day of your life. Every day of your life, connect with someone new. Okay, take off the weekends. Double up on a couple of the other days. And invite your connections into a real conversation where relevant and appropriate. Here's another thing about networking on LinkedIn. Listen. It's called social listening. Pay attention to your network and what's relevant to them and what their relevant content. Pay attention to their milestones, their birthdays, which is broke right now. I wish LinkedIn would fix it because I am so sorry I can't say happy birthday to people because I don't know when their birthdays are anymore. But look at their career changes, their anniversaries, their milestones. They got their master's degree. They got their doctorate. They had a baby. They got married. I don't care what it is. Look for a way to celebrate their milestones with them. Pay attention to their relevant companies. Pay attention to the companies they work for, what's going on with them. Maybe there's changes going on with that company that might be a good conversation. Maybe I should reach out to Kimberly or Justin or Laurie and say hi and ask them to tell me a little bit more about what's going on. This is really important to do. Have meaningful conversations about what you discover as you're listening. By the way, birthdays, don't just click that happy birthday button. If you see my birthday on July 9th, don't click that happy birthday button. Call me, text me, Snapchat me, TikTok me. Something meaningful. Maybe not TikTok. I'm on there though. Consume interesting and useful information. Engage on it relevantly. This is important. It's not just about collecting connections. It's about getting into real conversations with people. Uncover opportunities for richer conversations. I'm a social media strategist teaching LinkedIn as a business tool. Today I saw a potential client share something, and it was absolutely a beautiful share, except for one little thing that she could have done a little bit better, and it made the post not quite what she wanted. So I messaged her. I said, oh my God, this was absolutely beautiful post. I love the imagery used. I have an idea, if you would like to hear it, that you may be able to use to make it even better. And I said it very empathetically. And she said, Teddy, I'd love to hear your idea. And I told her my idea. She almost wept because she thought it was such a huge mistake, which it wasn't. But then she said, I'd like to talk more. That opened the door for conversations. Follow your LinkedIn network on other social media sites. If they're highly relevant to you, don't just have their LinkedIn connection, have their email address, have their phone number, follow them on Instagram, or follow them, I was going to say Tinder, but I don't want to say Tinder. Follow their YouTube channel, follow them on Facebook, wherever you can follow them, follow on Twitter. If they're out on multiple places, you want to connect in multiple places. When you connect in multiple places, you create greater opportunities for conversations. See, Kimberly says, best LinkedIn connection opportunities, L&D Cares community group. Absolutely. Get into groups where the people are who are relevant to you.
And Teddy, you got a question in the Q&A section about the LinkedIn Premium. Is it really worth the monthly fee? Christopher.
Great, Jennifer, thank you for pointing that out to me. I missed that. So here's the answer.
What I'm here for.
If you are prospecting for new connections, business opportunities on a regular basis, then you might want to pay for LinkedIn Premium or LinkedIn Sales Navigator. That's if you are serious about prospecting. If you're in career transition, you might want to experience the job seeker module. If you want to learn, you might want to pay for LinkedIn Learning, which you get through the Business Premium or through Sales Navigator. There may be purposes to use it, but have the purpose. Be clear about the purpose before you start spending the money. And by the way, if you sign up for any premium LinkedIn, sign up month to month to begin with. And then once you prove it's what you want, convert it to an annual, because you generally cannot get out of a subscription. Thank you for asking that question. What can you do with your LinkedIn network? I got this thing. What can I do with it? First of all, I can introduce them to each other. This is called social giving. When you introduce your network to other people, someone has a need for something, you know someone who can do it. Someone has an interest in an idea, someone you know has that idea. Introduce your network to each other. Encourage them. Celebrate with them. Offer to help them to become more successful. Share ideas they may find useful or interesting. Invite them into open conversations, first and foremost, about them. Go back to the chat box here. Yeah, see, Christopher says, we get LinkedIn Learning free from my work, but not the full premium ability. That might be grandfathered in, but if you get it free, it's kudos. Use that stuff. Don't let it sit there and get dust on it. And yes, Justin also reminded me that a lot of libraries have access to LinkedIn Learning. You can get it free through the library. Great reminder. Thank you for reminding me that. But invite your connections into conversations. Ask them if they would discuss your needs and ideas. Look, it's about this. You want to get into a conversation with someone who ultimately they can help you. And when you do that, you want to, I go at it from this perspective. I will ask Lisa or Laurie or Christopher, would you be willing to have a conversation with me about this that I'm working on? I never say, hey, I got a widget to sell. I want to talk to you about it. I invite them into conversation, because if you invite someone to a conversation, they say, yes, there's interest. If I twist your arm and get you to get in there, there's no interest, and you might just be there just to tell you to shut up. And I'm not interested in that. So invite them to join you. And when possible, ask them to introduce you to others that you want to meet and or talk with, so that you are no longer Adam's house cat. It's my new phrase. I built that today when a conversation with Andrew. What can you do with your LinkedIn network? Network with it, help it, support it, care for it, guide it, nurture it, protect it, celebrate it, and ask for help when you need to ask for help. Kimberly said also a great way to find vendors. You know people who are doing stuff. Well, who are they using? By the way, I'm looking for a new texting system so that I can do SMS for an inexpensive rate. So if anybody has any ideas about a new SMS system, I'd love to hear about that. North Carolina State University provides LinkedIn Learning. That's great stuff. Bill, I got time. I want to make sure I'm answering your question. I got a hand raised. I don't know what to do with a hand raised. Jennifer, oh wait, it went down. I was going to ask for help, Jennifer, but I think I'm okay. Building your reputation with your LinkedIn network. Engage on relevant content. Jennifer, do we have somebody?
No, I think all the raised hands went down. You're good.
Okay. And look, it's not just about building a beautiful LinkedIn and a strong LinkedIn network. It's also about building trust, respect, and like with them. It's called a reputation. Trust, respect, and like. You scramble those words together and it spells reputation in my mind. So one way to do that is engage on content from your LinkedIn network that is relevant to who you are and what you do. Listen to that. I start with engagement. Engage on relevant content outside of LinkedIn that might be of relevance and useful to your LinkedIn network. Maybe bring it in here. I'll get to Walter's question in a minute. Share relevant content that your LinkedIn network may find useful. Listen to those words, that they may find useful. Ask questions with your relevant content. Drop a story in there, drop an image, drop a statement, and ask questions. I have a thing called two things I do. One is ISO, hashtag ISO. Anybody know what that is? Somebody drop, what is the ISO? Drop that in the chat. Let's see if you guys know what ISO is. Yep, in search of. In search of. Absolutely. So I do a hashtag ISO. Generally, I do that when I'm in search of something for someone else. That's a great style that I use that people have gotten used to. Also, another style called hashtag PSA. Anybody know what PSA stands for? And if you're going to say public service announcement, don't type, because PSA is not public service announcement. For me, PSA is pay serious attention. That's hashtag PSA from Teddy. So ask relevant questions, share insight, useful information. Let me drop in here to, let's see, Jerry, if you have to pay for it yourself, LI Premium is a good thing for job seekers to have if you can afford it. I'm with you, Jerry. There is a statistic from LinkedIn that if you use the open to work image, which a lot of people don't like, but I think it's powerful. It very clearly says, I'm here to help others. I'm open to work. If you use that and you use LinkedIn Job Seeker, it ranks you a little bit higher when you're doing the apply on LinkedIn stuff. So it's not the only way to find a job, but it does rank you a little bit better. Walter asked, do you recommend setting aside a certain amount of time or day a week to work your network? If so, how much do you recommend? Great question. Do I set aside time to work my network? I'm going to use a different word, Walter. I commit time every day to engage with my network. I don't set aside a half an hour a week or 45 minutes a week. For me, every day, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. As I'm going through the day and an opportunity comes up for me to engage with someone, I'm going to do that. And the reason why I do it is I look at LinkedIn as a business tool that I integrate into everything else I do where relevant and appropriate. So it's not a sideline tool to me. It's just like my telephone. I don't turn my telephone off. I don't turn my text messaging off. I don't turn my email off. I don't turn my LinkedIn off. But I use it where relevant and appropriate. Great question. Thanks for asking that. Don't waste time becoming a serial liker. I see this all the time. People get on LinkedIn and they're liking content with reckless abandon, liking, loving, insight. What's the other one? Curious. Don't do that. If you're doing that, do that to help the other person, because it doesn't do a thing for you. It doesn't do a thing for you. What really creates value for you is engaging with meaningful words, commenting with meaningful words. Jump in and respond to a question with meaningful and relevant words. What also has a great benefit for you is when you share diverse types of content. Diverse types of content. I'll see someone open to work. Yeah, open to work is it's in your profile. It's open to work, and when you make it public, it puts the green circle around you. It says open to work. Diverse content is really important to share. I think I have one or two more points to make. Learn to use the tool. Experiment with search. Experiment with saved search. Experiment with LinkedIn message, even mobile, audio and video messaging. Experiment with managing your network. Manage the received and sent invites. Experiment with LinkedIn groups. Experiment with people you may know. Experiment with who viewed your profile and who are these people. This is how you get value out of using any tools. You experiment and you grow. LinkedIn's a business tool, integrated into everything you do where relevant and appropriate. If you want more out of it, don't treat it like a sideline tool. It's not a race, it's a journey. So don't try to do it all right now. Don't rush towards success. Keep moving towards success. Show your network you care, and they'll care for you. Jennifer.
That's awesome. Somebody said they feel like they've been to church with you today on LinkedIn.
This is my pulpit.
Yeah, and I love it. It's all about engaging with others and building those relationships, back to that definition that you started with at the very beginning.
Yeah. Pamela wants to know, do I have any ways to effectively use LinkedIn stories? I've got a buddy of mine who is knocking it out of the park with LinkedIn stories. However, it's a huge investment, and it's truly a business tool for him. So I don't do Facebook stories or Instagram stories. So I'm not really the right one to speak about LinkedIn stories. They are great. A lot of people like them. I just haven't found a business value for me yet.
Yeah. So Teddy, I know I was having so much fun listening to you. I was not even paying attention to time. So I know we've got another couple of sessions that are starting up, but wonder if you've got your contact information for folks so that they can reach out to you.
So if I go back to the feed, and I'll drop in the feed, I'm pretty easy to find. There's my LinkedIn profile URL. There's my website. And check this out. There's my phone number.
Look at you.
Yeah, I didn't get my email address.
And you have sound effects too.
Yeah, I know, Nick. Wow. So, Jennifer, thank you for letting me come to share. Feel free, anyone who wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, please send me a personal note. Tell me we met here, so I don't consider you a Tom, Dick, or Harry that, just sending out invites for no reason.
Unless your name is Tom, Dick, or Harry, but then, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Do we do an amen now?
Yes, amen. Thank you so much, Teddy. This was really, really good. So thanks, everybody. We've got a couple more sessions that are starting right at 2:20, so we'll let you hop into those. And thanks for hanging out with us.
Okay. See you later.